Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Deb. I'm so glad you're here. I'm just taking a break for a minute in between decorating and getting ready for Santa to come and all those fun things. So I just kind of wanted to do a really quick recap of season 19, episode 14, The Truth Will Set You Free. There's really three scenes that are going on during this episode. The first one is Kody and Robyn. They're in the upper room there at Josephine's. They're having their date. Cody's pretty excited. This is the exact same room that Kody and Janelle have been in. You might remember from a couple episodes ago when he was like, "Ooh, this is really intimate, Janelle." So this is the same room. They're on a date. Apparently it's really hard for them to find somebody to watch their kids, even though they have college-age kids in the house. But, that's where they're at right now. So Robyn wants to talk to Kody about finding a church home for the girls. The girls have approached her, said, we'd like to find a community. We'd like to date. We'd like to date somebody that's like-minded. We're in college now. While we're planning our goals for the future, planning our career, we would also like to find, somebody that's like-minded and just kind of get, do the things that young people do. Now, my humble opinion, did they need to go to the mother for this? No, but it's cool that they included her, So anyhow, Robyn is now having the conversation with Kody saying, hey, do you mind if the girls, we don't have an AUB church here. It doesn't seem like that's even something that you're interested in anymore. And the girls would really like to they miss church and they would like to find a church. And so would I. Kody's cool with that. Something happened, as you guys are aware, with Kody and the AUB church. My thought, first of all, we know that the church did not like the Sister Wives television show. They said, don't do it. We don't want you to do it. You're going to be, it was my understanding that basically out of fellowship if they go ahead and do the TV show. I'm told they weren't excommunicated over it, but, they definitely didn't continue to go to church after they left Lehigh and went to Las Vegas. There was no AUB church in Las Vegas. So they just stopped going to church. They had church at their home, which was a source of their community. And eventually when they moved to Flagstaff, they even took off their garments and didn't even have those church services in their own homes anymore. Kody kind of mentions that one of the falling out he had with the AOB was over his hair, his delightful, very, very curly hair. Now I have curly hair too, but they told Kody that he had to cut his hair if he was going to be considered for a leadership position. Kody didn't want to do that. Kody doesn't like people telling him what to do. He didn't like them telling him about his hair. He didn't like him telling about the show. And certainly when Meri got the release, and I think there's some pretty strong words, because once that seemed to be going on, even though it wasn't said explicitly on the show, Kody doesn't want anything to do with the AUB church anymore. He's done with it. So, Kody has a personality type that he doesn't like to be told what to do. So this is a challenge for him. So interestingly enough, too, it's kind of an awkward scene. Kody's more concerned about Robyn going to church by herself. He said that at first church isn't a safe place for him. He doesn't want to go, but he doesn't want her to go with kids without him very long, because people are going to think that, hey, you're a single woman and we can go after you. Even though she's got a wedding ring, she's married. Kody, this isn't a polygamous church anymore. People don't look at it the same way. So, yeah, come on, Kody. So, Kody also talks about, he wants to revisit his meet cute, if you will, story with Robyn. Now, this too has changed what they've told for many years. What was in the book that they published said that he was at an event with Meri, and Meri said, "Hey, she's kind of cute. Why don't you go ask her to dance?" Because, from what we've been told all these years, again, I'm not a polygamist, what we've been told all these years, it's the first wife's duty to bring in other wives into their family. So this is Meri's duty to expand Kody's world. Kody's not allowed to flirt with other women. He is a married man. He's not allowed to do any of that kind of stuff until he gets that blessing from that first wife. Now, this meet cute story is completely different. They talk about being in the same church. Apparently, they said something about this was 2 hours away from Robyn's home. Now, I'm a little bit shaky on that timing because I always thought that Robyn lived 5 hours away from the family. So 2 hours is a really big difference when you're talking about distance. But anyhow, their meet cute story was that he was talking to one of his neighbors. He saw her sitting across the way. They locked eyes for a very, very long time, to the point that he was like, that was probably not appropriate because she's probably married. Hey, Kody, you're a married man. You shouldn't be doing that. At least that's what you guys have told us through these years of sister wives. Anyhow, and then Robyn says that, after that, she gets a great big lightning bolt through her body, and, they're locked in and they're ready to start courting. Different than the story they've told all these years. Different than what is published in the book. So anyhow, Kody is really, really worried that she will run off into the sunset with somebody else. So let's hop on over to the engagement party. We see Christine's kids, everyone but Gwendolyn. I hope Gwendolyn's not upset with her mom. I did hear her talk on a video that she was a little bit upset with how her engagement party had went, because it became more about Kody and David meeting than about her engagement party. And she was a little bit salty about that. So hopefully that's not what this is about, because we haven't seen her at the events since then. Perhaps she's just busy in her life. So anyhow, the rest of Christine's children are there. Some of David's children are there. Janelle's looking hot in her pink dress. Good way to go. That's a really, really good color on you, Janelle. And Hunter comes along. Hunter's hysterical. I just love Hunter. Hunter is a nurse. I don't know if he's a nurse practitioner, but he's a nurse. He was working on his master's degree out on the East Coast. He lives about 5 hours, they say, from his sister, Maddie. So he's out there. So anyhow, they all get together. And he hadn't told Janelle there, so it was a pleasant surprise. So it was just a really, really good time. What I'm really enjoying, not so much about, the wedding, because we know they get married. They're not really telling us a lot about, the two of them or anything, but it's really, really good to see all the kids, to see how much they've grown, to see how they're interacting. I think they're starting to get used to Christine deciding that she's going to go ahead and get married, even though Peyton's really cute. He says, so Mom, she's been engaged for 2 seconds. She's been courting for 10 seconds, and here we are. But we really love that she's happy. So that really just kind of sums it up, doesn't it? So then we also go over to the third scene that's through this episode is Meri having a conversation. She's in Las Vegas. She's with two of her best friends, Brandi and just Jen. Just Jen, that's what she calls herself. So just Jen. Meri doesn't always listen to Jen, but she's starting to. She's starting to catch on that Jen's kind of right. I love the conversation that they have with each other. The really, really interesting thing in this episode, we hadn't seen it before, but if you recall, when Kody comes to Meri right after the release and he goes into her house and he's like, why so fast? The first thing we didn't hear is he says, do you have another man? We hadn't heard that before. Kind of made Meri kind of hot. She's like, no, that's not what's going on. And then the other thing that Kody says, I wish we would have had when we were talking out on Coyote Pass and we were having the breakup conversation, I wish it would have just been the two of us. Meri says, yeah, I can understand that. He says, because gosh, he says, that really tore Robyn up. That poor girl, it just tore her up. And Meri says, yeah, it kind of tore me apart too, Kody. I mean, talk about insensitive. He thinks about who he thinks about. He was married to Meri for 33 years. He didn't even give her regard that this was hurting her. She told him she didn't want to do this, but he made it really clear that he couldn't continue in a relationship with her. He even said, don't want to insert myself into a relationship with you any longer. So, I think it's the first episode I've seen in a very, very long time that Robyn didn't cry. She didn't fake cry. She didn't do any. Kody didn't cry either. So that was actually a pretty good deal. So anyhow, I just wanted to hop on here really, really quickly as I am getting ready for Christmas. I'm doing my power stuff because, as always, I'm a little bit behind. But anyhow, thank you. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. And I will see you after the first of the year. Bye.